Hello traders and welcome back to my YouTube channel IPDATrader. Now in today's video we are going to be talking a little bit about backtesting smart money concepts, right? I've received this question plenty of times where it's like, hey man, I'm learning smart money concepts, I'm trying to backtest certain ideas, but I don't know how I should be going about that, right? So that's what I'm hoping I can answer today, right? What we're going to be doing today is simply I'm going to be giving you some ideas first, and after we've done that, we're going to be jumping right into the backtesting software that I like to use, and we're going to be going through some examples. Maybe that will provide you some clarity and information, right? So if you're currently confused with backtesting and how you should be doing that, then you might want to be watching this video till the end, because once again, I'm going to be trying my best to provide you with value and information so that you can then go ahead and start your own backtesting studies, so that way you can improve your trading, right? So with all that information out of the way, let's actually get started. We're going to be jumping into the whiteboard first, and we're going to be discussing certain ideas around the topic of backtesting. And after that, we're going to be jumping into the backtesting software that I use, and we're going to be going through certain examples, things of that nature, right? So, with all that explanation out of the way, let's actually get started with today's video. So traders, as we've said, we're now in the drawing board and we're going to be starting discussing certain ideas around the topic of backtesting, right? So let me take a second over here. We're going to be writing it at the very top. Backtesting smart money concepts, right? How you should be going about that. So let's start discussing certain ideas. The very first thing that you want to be asking yourself is, why are you backtesting, right? What's the aim? What's the goal behind your backtesting? And to answer that, you have multiple options. You're free to choose whatever fits you better, but I'm going to be giving you certain ideas right now, right? So let's say you want to backtest because there's certain parameters you want to test. That's a possibility. Maybe you're backtesting because you're trying to improve your ability to read the charts. Maybe you're backtesting because you're trying to gain confidence in your trading edge and what you really do in the markets. You're trying to optimize your approach. Analyze certain patterns, and you're trying to gauge the win percentage of those, maybe the probability, accuracy, whatever it may be, right? You get the idea at this point. What I'm trying to say here is that everyone may have a different purpose in terms of why they're backtesting, right? What it's important here is that you're able to define why you're backtesting yourself, right? Maybe you're just doing it because you want to gain confidence in what you do, and you don't have to be following a very systematic approach, right? You have to be following an approach. I completely agree with that idea, but you don't have to only be trading certain rules and only when this happens, because you need to understand that the market is imperfect. It's not perfect, okay? It's not a science. It's really dependent on your approach, depending on your perspective. It's subjective. It's an art. So trying to force certain rules, and once again, don't get me wrong, rules are good to have and good to follow, but you will find that you're going to be deviating from those from time to time, and that's going to be okay, because that's what the market might have been telling you at that point, and that's what the your judgment call came in and said, hey man, I'm going to be exiting, I'm going to be closing, I'm going to be doing whatever I need to do at that point. But you get the idea, right? Maybe you're backtested because you're trying to improve your ability to read the charts, optimize your market approach, right? Analyze certain patterns, get some statistics, right? And note them down so that you can once again have confidence in what you're doing and your trading edge. So that is pretty much what I wanted to say in the whiteboard, right? As you can see, I'm not going to be taking too long. I'm just simply going to be trying to explain why you're trying to backtest before we actually go ahead and start the backtesting process, right? It's just that simple. You need to understand your why behind the backtesting that you're doing, right? So let's say you need to understand your why behind the backtesting that you are trying to do, right? So that is sort of the idea that I wanted to present to you. Very short and sweet. And yeah, with all that information out of the way, we're actually going to be jumping into the backtesting software, and we're going to be saying to ourselves what we're going to be backtesting in terms of the timeframes that we're going to be working with, what are certain ideas that we want to be following, how we're going to be approaching breaking the markets down, right? And after that, we're going to be doing that, right? We're going to be jumping into the charts. We're going to be backtesting and taking trades, and we're going to be seeing what's happening, right? So with all that information out of the way, guys, I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm going to load up the backtesting software, and we're going to be starting with our backtesting session over here. So traders, we're now on the backtesting software, and before we actually get started with the session, just to clarify certain things, this is the backtesting software that I'm using. It's called Soft for FX. Let me quickly show you guys the website. You can get it over here. This is the one that I'm using. I believe it is about $100. Um, if you do a little bit of research, you may be able to get this one for free. But once again, I just paid for it because I'm not trying to steal anyone's work. And you should not be doing that, to be honest. But if you have the necessity of getting this one for free, you will be able to find that most probably. Now for me, I just paid the license and that's about it. So in order to pick a date and just to make sure no one thinks that, hey, I know what's happening in the charts every single day and that I've picked a date that I know in terms of the candles and what's happening at that point, we're going to be going over here. Let's say we want to pick a total of 5 dates between, we're going to be choosing between January 2021 and actually not December. We're going to be sticking to any dates between January and September because I'm trying to backtest current market conditions, right? I'm not going to be going 5 years down the line because that's not going to be relevant for me at that point. So we're going to be picking Sundays. This is the date format that I may want to be picking. And let's actually get some days over here, right? Oh, the end date you specified is not a valid calendar date. Okay, that's fine. Let's say that instead we do that and this should work now. No? Let's add Mondays. Let's see. The end date you specified is not a valid calendar date. Not sure what that is happening. Let's try once again. Okay, here we go. So let's say we're going to be picking this date, okay? The 15th of February 2021. We're going to be doing a new simulation over here, right? Let's see. We're going to be backtesting, let's say GBP USD. This is a pair that I like to trade and I'm very experienced with that, so that's going to be good. We've said that we wanted to be starting our simulation February 2021, so let's go over there. February 2021, 15 Monday, perfect. And simulation today, let's say we have a 50K account, right? 50K account. We're going to be choosing New York close as the time on the charts because that way I know when a certain thing's happening. We're going to be using a fixed spread of 10 points. That's good. We're going to be adding commissions. Let's say we want to have a $1 commission per lot. That's actually pretty good. And we want to have some history in the charts, right? Because that way I may be able to understand what's happening at that point without the necessity of really pushing the price forward, right? So let's start the simulation. And now we have to add some charts, right? Well, so we're going to be working with the weekly time frame. We're going to be working with the daily. Let's see over here. We're going to be working with the 4 hour, the 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute charts. That's going to be good. So you can see I have some charts on the bottom. and we're going to be quickly removing those. I'm actually going to be pausing the video once again because it's going to take quite some time to load these charts. So we're going to be doing that, and I'm going to be right back. So traders, finally loaded everything up. We have the charts ready. We're ready to start. Now, let's quickly answer why we're backtesting and what are we exactly going to be backtesting. Okay, so let's do that over here. Why are we backtesting? Okay, let's say we're backtesting because we're trying to gain confidence in our ability to read the charts and what we do as traders. Okay, so that's out of the way, and now let's actually say what we're going to be doing in terms of the different time frames that we're going to be working with, what are we going to be looking for, and all that stuff, right? So we're going to be using the daily, the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes for structure analysis, right? Structure analysis. Structure analysis, what else? Liquidity story and POI selection. Okay, so that's the time frames that we're going to be working with in order to determine those criterias. We're going to be using the 15-minute for potential refinements right over here, and we're going to be using the 5 minute to the 1 minute for potential executions. Okay, so that's sort of the trading plan, one could say, that we're going to be testing right over here in order to gain confidence in what we do. So let's look at the weekly time frame. We understand that we're sort of very bullish, right? We're looking at this UZA structure point, structure point, structure point. We just had an expansion of the range. We just took this high out, so we could expect a retracement. We don't know, once again, because we don't have any information to the left, unfortunately. That's what we would need if we wanted to see if we're hitting some sort of area in order to potentially execute sell positions, right? So once again, that's just the weekly. We will have more information as we zoom into lower and lower time frames. Daily time frames, same idea, right? Structure point over here, structure point over here, expansion of the range. Good to know. Zoom into the 4 hour. And this is where things get interesting, right? So we had a bunch of equal highs over here that got taken out over here with this move, right? We have a structure that looks like this, right? This would have actually been a great area to look for buys, but that's well in the past, so there's not much we can do at that point. And that is sort of the idea in the 4 hour time frame. Let's continue. Let's go to the let's go over here. Let's go to the day 1 hour time frame, sorry, and let's see what's happening. Great. We have more information. This is our most recent break over here. These are potential points of interest to look for buys. This could one argue that this is also an area to look for buys. And yeah, that's about it, right? We had this break over here to the upside. So that's where we're going to be working with at this point. As you can see, I'm keeping this rather simple. Let's move on to the 30-minute time frame. We might have the same information. Good. So unfortunately, let's see if I zoom out. I may be able to get some information to the left, maybe on the 1 hour. That would be great because once again, I don't know what's happening here to my left. This may actually be highs, and that's why we're not getting information. And that's something that we shall keep in mind. Okay, so let's see in terms of sessions where we are. We're approaching London Open. That's good. Let's speed this up over here, and let's say we want to be focusing on the New York over here. Okay, so we're moving now into the New York session, right? I mean, not yet, but we're slowly moving into that. So we're actually going to be adding 2 more candles, right? That's good. Okay. Now let's start doing, let's do this properly. Let's start doing some analysis once again, right? So if you're looking at the lower time frame, right, you had your most recent break over here. We're now returning into this block. There is a probability that we can continue up, right? So let's zoom out. Let's understand that we're having this break. So my bias actually, and what we're going to be working with is the following, right? So let's do this. Let's say this is our previous high, previous low over here, new higher high. So we are expecting what? We're expecting a higher low to form anywhere within the 50% of the leg coming up over here, which may be over here. Maybe it goes into this block over here, and then we can look for continued buys, right? That's sort of the idea and expectation, and that's sort of what I'm reading in this market. And it's actually quite difficult because I don't have the same tools that I usually have in my trading view, but we're going to be making this work. No big deal. Great. We understand our bias, we understand our timing, we understand the higher time frame narrative. We can go into the 30 minutes and let's see the following. Okay. So we had a bunch of equal highs, but those got taken out with this move up. We're now starting to come down. We have, this is interesting, guys. This is something that you want to pay attention. We have a bunch of inefficiencies over here. So there is a probability that that is going to get mirrored with a move down over here, right? And we can probably get into this POI, right? This bullish order block sitting at this point in time. That's sort of what I'm expecting. If I see, and let me grab the tool. If I see this low break, I'm going to be happy with waiting for a scenario of this sort, where we break below that low, we return maybe into the block over here, and then we continue dropping into this area. That's what I'm expecting it's going to happen. That's something I would love to execute on, okay? So we move on and we try to gauge more information. 5 minutes, okay. 15 minutes, okay. So this point in time, I don't have to do anything and I just have to wait for that low to break. So we're actually going to be playing price at this point. Let's go over here. Let's play that out and let's see what's happening. Hopefully, once again, actually, if we get some sort of 1 minute frame shift over here, I may be able to take buys and continue up. If we break below that low, then I'm going to be happy to look for sells. If we get a retracement leg into this block for continued sells, because we have inefficiencies to the left, I would love to mirror and fill into this block over here. Okay, so I hope the idea makes sense at that point. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cloning this zone. We're actually going to be seeing if we can refine that. That's good. So object clone. Let's paste that into the 5 minute. Let's paste that into the 1 minute. Okay, so we're looking at the 1 minute frame. I'm going to be denoting this refinement. I would love to see this getting tapped and we may be able to take some sells. What else do we see, guys? Well, we see compression over here developing, trendline liquidity being created, right? You see some sort of channel, right? People are getting manipulated. This is sort of a high I would love to see break if I'm going to be taking buys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's play price. Let's see what's happening. Ba-da-bum. Okay, so we're waiting. Okay, so we're shifting up at this point, right? We've broken that structure point. Once again, we could very well be tapping, let's grab this tool. We could be very well be tapping into this block and continuing lower into the refinement to then continue up because the manipulation over here has not happened, I believe. So we're going to be waiting for now. And let's see what happens. Let's remove this. We don't need that at that point. But we understand where we're getting this move up, right? That's what's rather important. So let's wait. Let's see if we can. Okay, this is good. If we can break the high once again, let's see. Okay, that's good. I'm going to be interested in looking for buys at this point. If we can get a move down, we might have a 6.8 pip stop loss. That's going to be good. So let's say a buy limit. Once again, I'm working through this rather quickly because I don't want to make this video too long and I'm trying to get this done, right? So let's say we want to say we're going to be using visual mode, buy limit, entry point. Let's say that we want to enter over here. We want to put our stop loss below the mitigation low and we want to go up, right? Maybe we want to test the high. This would be sort of a 617. So that's pretty much a 1 to 3. So that's the trade idea. Let's see if we can get a tap. And yeah, that would be lovely. If not, then that's okay. Trade's gonna be missed. It's not going to be a big deal. It is okay, right? So it looks like it's just pushing up at this point. So there may be no trade at that point. So let's speed this up. Yeah, we're pretty much tapping into this block and we're dropping. So this gets risky, but just for the video, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be leaving the SPY limit over here. But looks like we're not going to be getting a move down once again. So we're going to be speeding this up. And let's see what's happened over here, right? Once again, I would not leave the SPY limit in a live environment, but because we're backtesting and we're just trying to get the ideas across, I'm going to be leaving that over there, okay? So yeah, let's see what's happening. So we're pretty much ranging. It's pretty difficult price action. Zooming into the 5 minute. Yeah, that's okay. 15 minutes. That's okay. We could be breaking down now. And once again, if we break below that low and block, I'm going to be interested in looking for sells. But it does look like we're not going to be getting top because once again, price is unfortunately just ranging up and down, which is a probability always. So you have to keep that in mind, right? Um, okay, this is interesting. Hopefully we get a tap. Oh, we got tapped. And yeah, we're going to be slowing this down. Once again, I would probably not take this trade in a live environment, but because we're trying to get the ideas across, I'm going to be leaving that, right? Especially with my stop loss below here, most probably below this low would be a much better idea. But so far, we're up in profits, right? So let's see. So we have about, yeah. So let's see what's happening at this point. Let's speed this up and let's see if we can continue. Let's go back to the 1 minute. And as you can see, yeah, we're pretty much starting to shift structure back again. We've broken above that high, so this gives me the pretty much a probability of moving my stop loss below this low just to mitigate my risk. So we're actually going to be moving that. Is that something that I can do on this? I think I can if I go over here and I click where is it? Modify. There we go. We can trail our stop loss below this low, whatever you want to do at that point. Okay, so let's say we want to be moving that below this low. And once again, we may want to be paying attention as we reach into this supply zone. Once again, yeah, pretty much ranging, so it's rather difficult. But let's see what's happening at this point. Okay, so we have pretty much a one-to-one. Price is moving up and down, it's ranging, it's not optimal, but you get the point, right? I'm just trying to explain how you would go about backtesting. So at this point, we're pretty much 2.5% in profit. You could trail your stop loss below the wick over here. You could move to break even. You could take some profits, right? There's no rule in terms of, hey, you always have to wait for your take profit to hit. So we're actually going to be doing that, right? Let's say we want to modify this and we want to trail that below that low. That would be a smart idea. And let's say we want to close some profits, right? Let's say 50%, right? You take that and that's it. And now if price decides to turn around, you're going to be good because you will have made some profits. And once again, it's actually a smart decision because you're trading a range, but I'm just doing that because I don't want this video to be too long, okay? So understand that. But once again, there is a probability that we want to be tapping that opposite end of the range. And yeah, so let's speed this up once again. And let's see if we get taken out or if price actually wants to continue. Oh, there we go. So that's lovely. We can secure more profits, right? Whatever you want to do at that point. Let's say this time we go back to the trades over here. Where is it? I cannot pull it up. There we go. So let's close more, right? We have 7 lots. Let's say you want to be closing 30% more and you're constantly banking, okay? Because you want to be paying yourself as you're taking good trades and sort of making right decisions. So hopefully our TP can hit because once again, the higher time frame is telling us that we're in a bullish environment. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So our take profit just got hit about a 18 pip move within the 1 minute time frame with a 6 pip stop loss with pretty much 3 pip drawdown. So that's excellent, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to be stopping the video over here because I'm not trying to make this video too long. This is already long enough. As you know, we were following a little bit of this plan, right? We were backtesting for this reason, and we pretty much executed on that. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for listening. If you actually enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Comment in terms of video suggestions. I always look around the comments, so I'm going to be happy reading those. Now, with all that information out of the way, guys, thank you very much for listening, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care.